You really do learn a person's character through how they treat people they don't need anything from. Think about that. I say this all the time, and I do it in my own way. Everything in life to me is about building character. It's all about bringing more awareness, okay? And to me, the most beautiful souls are those souls that can be gentle and loving and compassionate to others, especially the people they don't need anything from. So if you're around a person or you're trying to gauge a person, pay attention to how they treat the janitor. Pay attention to how they treat the waitress. Pay attention to how they treat a random person in the street. That right there tells you so much about what kind of character they have, whether or not they're a noble, honorable, loving person, or they're just the type of person that takes what they can from the things or people that they need from.
No one can make you angry. They can't make you upset. No one can make you feel anything. That's a choice that you make. You're responsible for your own emotions. Epictetus says, if you find yourself offended, realize that you are complicit in taking offense. It takes two to tango. But also, as the Stoics say, things don't upset us. We choose to be upset about them. It's our opinions that are to blame, not the objective situation.
The reason that they're after you is because you have the codes embedded into your soul's blueprint to set yourself and humanity free from this false matrix imprisonment and false reality that has been indoctrinated and embedded into the collective consciousness for centuries. And because they are so disconnected from their own divinity, they target you because they want to steal your light and siphon your gifts, siphon your connection and cut off your connection to source. And that is why you've been targeted and followed throughout the timelines, lifetime after lifetime, is because you carry the prosperity codes, because you carry the liberation codes. And they know that once you set yourself free, you are going to use your light to set the others free that are still trapped in bondage. And that is going against the agenda that they have designed for this matrix, which is why they've been so relentless. But because you are backed by the Most High and you are connected to Source, that's not going to work, but you have to stay in alignment. And so you need to get back in alignment with your soul's blueprint, because no one can steal your destiny. Everything happens based on belief. And so you have to get to your belief systems and get to 0 point neutrality. That is the source field, the quantum field of manifestation. And so, because reality is neutral, if you are in 0 point neutrality and the observer of your experiences, rather than, a victim or just like an active participant in them, and you just choose to observe and respond rather than react, that is how you maintain the frequency of 0 point neutrality. And you can quite literally create and uncreate realities based on your thoughts alone.
There are some relationships where the only outcome for you is going to be detachment. And I know the feeling of desperately searching for a way to make a relationship work, especially when it's with a partner or a parent. Those are extremely important relationships, and in some relationships you'll beat your head against the wall trying to make them work, only to realize they don't have an interest in making this work. They only have an interest in maintaining control. They don't see you bending over backwards as an invitation to reciprocate. They don't see you walking on eggshells as a wake-up call to be more considerate. And if you had to detach from a relationship like that in order to protect your sanity or your emotional well-being, I know some of you are still feeling a little guilty, wondering, I just wonder if I could have done a little bit more to save that relationship. And I just need to remind you, you were the only one that was ever going to ask that question. That's why the relationship fell apart, not because you had to leave. Self-centered, emotionally immature people don't ask what they could have done differently to protect or repair or heal chronic ruptures in that relationship. And it's easy for you to feel bad about having to distance yourself from unsafe people, but just remember, they always had a choice, and they chose their pride and ego every single time.
Actions prove who someone is. Words prove who they pretend to be. Words are easy. They require no sacrifice. Anyone can say that they're kind or hardworking, but their actions actually reveal the truth. So if you're going to judge someone, do it based off of their actions, not their words.
5 phrases that quietly show you're not to be messed with. 1. I heard what you didn't say. That line hits different because you're not just listening to words, you're picking up tone, energy, and hesitation. It makes people second guess their every move around you. They start wondering what you've already figured out. That alone gives you the upper hand. 2. I don't raise my voice. I raise my standards. You don't waste energy arguing. If someone disrespects you, you don't explain, you exit. That quiet shift, it screams power, no drama, just distance, and that's what makes you dangerous. 3. I watch patterns, not promises. People can say anything. You watch what they do over time without the mask. You study behavior, not excuses. And once you see the pattern, it's game over. 4. Your opinion, noted, but irrelevant. No anger, no ego, just indifference. You've built your self-worth from the inside out. An outside noise doesn't move you. 5. Respect is the minimum, not a reward. You're not asking for basic decency, you're expecting it. If they can't offer that, they don't get a seat at your table.
Be friends in life. You need a truth teller, somebody that's willing to call you out on your BS and tell you the truth and hold you accountable to what you say. You need a confidant, somebody that you can tell anything to, and they're going to protect that information, keep it safe, and they're going to counsel you in a way that is fruitful for you. And you need a ride or die. You need somebody that at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can call and say, hey bro, I need you to get your stuff. And the only thing they say is I'm on my way. So you're lucky. You're lucky in life if you have one of each one of those friends,
much less all of them.
If you can get one person that fits every single one of those roles, man, dude, that's a friend for life.
Did you hear they're going to put ADHD people in isolated camps? We're going to camp? That's not going to work out like they think it's going to work out. Imagine like 75 me's and you's in a camp in an isolated environment together. Last time that happened, like Australia was founded.
Here's how you know somebody is evil. And this goes back to a simple theory by the French author Blaise Pascal, in which he writes, people never commit acts of evil so cheerfully and intentionally than when it stems from some religious conviction. And what he meant is that paradoxically, when you believe yourself to be fighting on behalf of the absolute good, this is when you can commit acts of evil. Like historically, it's often been under fundamentalist or religious convictions that horrible things have been done to people. Like Nietzsche once wrote, when you fight monsters, you must be careful that you don't become a monster yourself, which is to say, when you're fighting to defend the good, you can easily become that which you are fighting against. Hence why Hegel once wrote that evil is simply the good which believes itself to be absolutely good. Vice versa, a good person realizes that there's complexity, that it's not just good versus evil, that there's always some good within evil, and also some evil within the desire to do good. An evil person believes themselves to be perfect and beyond reproach, but a good person realizes there are always shades of gray.
Manipulation is when they blame you for your reaction to their disrespect. They can do whatever they want and they can say whatever they want. But the moment you react, they blow up. I have absolutely no time for people like that in my life.
Weak wait for permission to exist. The strong create their own purpose. The world is not kind to those who hesitate. It moves forward, crushing those who fear to step beyond the line. There is no fate, no divine plan, only the will to rise or the fear to fall. Those who accept suffering as their teacher, who embrace struggle as their fire, will ascend, and those who seek comfort above greatness, they will be forgotten.
Living in a simulation, yes. When you understand the facts, it's not hard to believe this. You can hack the rules to the game, because there are rules. This is a big video game. There was a creator that designed it with the rules, but they hide all the real knowledge from us. The church doesn't teach this, schools don't teach this. They want you to believe, hey, we either came from apes or we came from this Santa Claus figure in the sky that wants to give everybody spankings. It's the delusion of choice. They give you two false choices. So you think that you're making up your mind, so you'll never discover the actual truth. All the secret societies have been teaching this information. All the mystics and philosophers all over the world, every culture, they all knew this. We are electromagnetic beings. Everything is vibration and frequency. When you feel a certain way, you're putting out a good frequency or a bad frequency. And everything in this realm vibrates at a different frequency. Look at all the different kinds of rocks. They're all made from the same organic matter. Why are they different? Different vibrational frequency. You look at water, ice, steam. What's the difference of vibrational frequency? Dr. Emoto proved years ago in Japan that you can influence water by speaking to them, by praying to them, by having gratitude, and they show it under a microscope, and it's a beautiful snowflake type structure. If you show negative thoughts or whatever, there's no order. It looks like chaos. We are 99.9% water on a cellular level. Water is a very powerful conductor of electricity. Are you starting to follow what I'm saying here? You are probably watching this on your cell phone. A little black screen in your pocket has the power to bring the whole internet to you, and you do not question how it works. How does it get from wherever it's coming to that device? Maybe the air isn't what they told us it was. Maybe the air is the conductor and a pathway for these electromagnetic frequencies. It is not woo-woo. It's not mysticism. It's just the rules to the game. They say, look here and look here, but don't ever know the truth. This is simple, powerful knowledge that you need to understand, and it will change the way you live your life.
That people believe in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and invisible things powering our whole lives, but we think energy, vibration, and frequency, and all the things that come with it are still mystical nonsense. Why are we not caught up?
The best way to end something is to starve it. No reaction, just don't feed it. That's where the true power lies. Where attention goes, energy flows. And when energetic patterns are broken, new worlds emerge. Don't return negative energy. Remove yourself and create a new algorithm.